What is up, everyone? It is the final consecutive streaming day of the week, and we've got a lot to talk about on today's show, including the future of Stalker 2, new game playthroughs that we're likely going to begin in the schedule next week, the next DSP Tries It reward, because we're already on pace to hit it next few days, and more. It will be a way more laid-back stream, no real game news or anything to cover today, but instead, some honest and open back and forth. I'd love to get some nice feedback today on the future. So let's relax and enjoy each other's company on today's awesome episode of the Level 1 Podcast.
Get ready for some meaningful content, because the king is back, the king of the live stream, the king is back. Woo!
Good morning and welcome to the show. I'm DSP, of course. Welcome to lovely Renton, Washington, broadcasting here on DSPGaming and DSPGaming Reel over on Kick. I wish that you all are having a great day. Well, I hope you're all having a great day. And if not, hopefully we'll turn that around for you on a nice chill show. So today, folks, I went with a little bit of a cool Dark Souls theme, as you can see. Bringing back this FromSoft border and actually having a text that looks very similar to the FromSoft text style, so hopefully you like that. And got some dungeon lighting today. Nice embers behind me burning. And so, today will be a great day. It is my final consecutive streaming day of the week, a full streaming day of gameplay, which should be great, and hopefully 2 games that you guys are very interested in, the continuation of Dark Souls with mods, where today we're going to backtrack a bit and try to get some of the stuff that we had missed, including the important Ember that allows us to upgrade our weapons to +10. Right now, I'm stuck at +5 and fighting some bosses and things that I had missed. Tonight, Street Fighter returning for Friday Night Fights. Street Fighter 6, E-Honda, which should be fun to squish some people with a big sumo butt. And over on Kick, you guys are going to be able to use your emotes of Cammy for the very first time during Street Fighter gameplay. That should be very exciting. So today is Friday the 17th of January 2025, the final in a streak of 6 straight streaming days for me. Although yesterday I only streamed half the day. We'll talk about that and how it went in just a moment. A lot of topics to cover today, particularly after yesterday's Stalker 2 stream. We have to determine if that's a playthrough that we want to continue with. I'll be honest. I think Stalker 2 started off as an intriguing venture because I didn't really know what it was going to be. Over the course of the playthrough, there's definitely been some things that I've liked and a lot of things that have driven me nuts about the game. And now we're at a part where we're over 30 hours in, and I'm being told you probably still got another 15 to 20 hours to go, which is pretty ridiculous in my opinion, because the game has dragged on at a snail's pace for about a month now. And the game is just getting ridiculously difficult and full of bugs and weird, unpolished issues. So do we play it or not? We got so far in that I do kind of feel like it would have been a waste of a lot of stream time if we quit. At the same time, I'm noticing that attendance is dwindling and people are getting upset and just play other stuff. If every time you play the game, it drives you nuts, play another game. So we'll talk about all of that today. I also want to figure out what we're going to be doing next week, because we have potential to start up multiple new playthroughs next week, because we just beat both Indiana Jones and Killer Frequency. And so it's cool to have, the options of, more time in the schedule to do more stuff. But what do we want to do? In addition, just so you guys know, next week, I will be taking an extra day off. Finally, I'm going to have a day where I'm going to be out and about with my wife doing all kinds of appointments and the like. So it's actually going to be, I think, Thursday of next week, which would be the 24th? Yeah, Thursday the 23rd. Thursday, January 23rd, I'm going to have off from streaming, but I will be back on Friday. So it's kind of like I'll be here Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, off on Thursday, back on Friday, off on Saturday. I know it's a little bit of a weird schedule, but it's going to be nice to finally have a day to spend with my wife after almost over a month since the last time that we had a day off together. that wasn't full of errands and the like. So anyway, so we got a good amount of stuff to discuss, but it's a very chill stream today. Like seriously, laid back. I don't have any major topics to cover when it comes to news or any updates. A lot of open discussion today, and I want your feedback. I seriously want everyone's feedback today to know what you want to do. Do you want to, what do you like about these games? What about DSP tries it or another reward for our next goal milestone being hit? Let's talk about all this stuff today, seriously, and jump into all of it head first. So anyway, first of all, welcome everyone. What's up, Game Boy? Game Boy 84 says, "How you feel? How's it hanging?" It's going well. I'm excited for today. I'm in a good mood. Good games today. Excited for that, and ready to relax with all of you. Father Time says, "I know it feels like a kick in the testicle sack to play Stalker 2, but I think it's totally worth it." I mean, we have invested so much time in it. That's the thing. Like investing 30 plus hours in a playthrough, just to say, man, it's driving me nuts, and it's not necessarily allowing me to have much fun when I play it. Should I keep playing it? It's a tough decision. Here's the thing. Let me put it this way. If we can think of other valid things to do in place of Stalker 2 that people want to see and I want to play and we're all excited for, then I think we should stop playing it. But can we find things that we want to put in place of Stalker 2? That's the real question here, right? Is can we find other stuff that we want to put in there to replace it? Or right now, is there just not a lot going on? So I guess that's the question, and I guess we'll look at that, today. We'll discuss this, we'll explore it, see what what we come up with. Anyway, good morning, Illit. First contribution of the day has come in, and I want to shout it out. It is a $5 tip, and ladies and gentlemen, this tip is from Slayer. Thank you, Slayer. It's a very pertinent tip. If you guys are not aware, Slayer is a moderator here on my streams, but also a longtime viewer and supporter. Slayer was pretty much the only person who every single month since the inception of me doing private React videos purchased a private React video. Well, last night I wasn't on stream because I was filming Slayer's final private React video because I'm not doing them anymore, okay? Now you might say, why? I don't get it. What's going on? Let me explain. So 2.5 years ago, well, actually I take that back. 2 years ago, I rebranded one of my YouTube channels that previously was just for vlogging as DSP Reacts. And the idea of this channel was that it was going to be the central focal point of any kind of React content that I did on the internet. It was going to have food vlogs, like if I did a feasting with Phil or something like that. It was going to have reviews of TV shows and movies and things when pertinent and when I felt like doing them. But I was actually going to start up some long-form React events, which would be, for example, me reacting to a documentary or something like that. But also it was going to start a new show called DSP versus the Internet, a weekly show where people would become members and suggest clips, and I would watch those clips back, and it would be this fun React show. The show ran for 2 years and was successful. It actually had a solid viewership and made me money, but after 2 years, it kind of felt stale. The attendance was definitely dwindling. The support had dwindled, and people were like, the idea has run its course. So I retired the show. But along that time that I was doing all of that style of React content, another idea had happened. I had thought, hey, maybe there would be some people who would be willing to purchase my time to do private React videos of their choice. They could pick a topic or a video or whatever and have me watch and react to something. And then I would make the video for them and send it to them, and it would be their property. They could keep it for themselves, or they could choose to upload it to the internet if they wanted other people to see it, whatever. But it was an idea that I had. I already had a Patreon for a decade. So I said, hey, pledge to my Patreon, $50, buy 20 minutes of my time. The more you pay, the longer the video. So it was interesting because over the last 2.5 years, we had a good amount of people who bought into this idea. And I did all kinds of these private React videos. I reacted to food vlogging. I reacted to travel vlogs. I reacted to different kinds of documentaries, political, religious, all kinds of stuff there. I reacted to K-pop music. I reacted to stuff about horror and creepypasta. Like, seriously, anime. I did so many of these private React videos. But just like the other React idea, after about 2 years of this going on, the momentum kind of died down and no one really cared that much anymore. To be quite honest, ever since my resurgence last summer, okay, now my time is more valuable than ever. People are constantly pulling me in different directions. Will you play this game? Will you do this event? Will you do a show that does commentary on this topic? Will you come on and do an interview? Will you appear as a guest? I'm really starved for time. If anything, time is the most scarce thing and the biggest challenge that I have right now because everyone wants me to do something and I don't have enough time to do it being a one-man show. And so it's weird because the last few months, okay, I've been doing these private react videos and having to take off like a whole night or whatever to do it. And people are like, you're taking a night off? You're in the midst of, people showing up and engaging and supporting all your content and wanting more. And you're giving us less because you have to do a private react video. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of weird when you think about it, 2.5 years ago, when I started doing the private reacts, the prospect of someone paying me, say, $150 to $200 and not stream, but do one video was like, whoa, like that's profitable, man. Like that's a big deal. That's way more than what I probably would make streaming. But now it's kind of the opposite. Like me doing a stream, if I hit my goal and we're streaming and we're having good interaction, likely that stream is going to make that much, if not more anyway. And I'm making content for tons of people as opposed to just one person. You see, in truth, I've liked doing these videos, but I don't want to become someone who is making this this content just for one person, right? What do they call it? I'm trying to think of the word. There's a word for it when you're making content just for a very small specific group of people. It's not coming to mind right now. I'm having a brain fart because I used to use the term all the time and now I've forgotten what it is. But anyway, I would much rather make content for a larger group of people to enjoy, for people to come by and hang out and have a good time, have social interaction while I'm making that content. Okay. And see what I'm saying? And it's very different. Curated. Thank you. Avarice finally figured it out. Curated. That was the word I was looking for. Curated content. These private react videos are very much curated content. Content for a specific person or small group of people that they pay for. I would much rather do a stream of a game or a stream of a topic or hanging out with you guys or, again, doing a commentary show where, it's entertaining for a wider group, just being honest. The reason why I started the private react stuff 2.5 years ago is because things were in a slump. Things had slowed down. The attention on my content was dipping. And I said, well, this is a way for me to kind of make up with it and make extra money. Well, I don't really need that anymore. I think it makes more sense to hang out with you guys more often on stream and do content you want, or maybe do special appearances like being a guest on someone else's show or doing an interview that's a positive one, as opposed to me just making a private video for someone that no one sees, right? So I decided to this year basically end that. And I am. Now, here's the thing. I do still have on my Patreon a $50 goal. If you pledge $50, you get a private video, but it's supposed to be like Q&A or a quick video that's 20 minutes long. If that's the case, I can squeeze in a small video between streams or something here or there. So the option is still open, but it's a very different one than what it was previous, where people were trying to buy like 2-hour long chunks of my time, okay? So last night, I did my final ever private react video for Slayer. It was a good one. It covered a ton of topics. I actually reacted to my very first ever private react for him, which was from June of 2022, 2.5 years ago. Boy, what a difference. I'm watching the video. It's like my webcam's tiny, horrible quality, colors are off, my voice sounds bad, and it's way too low, the volume. I can't figure out the volume levels at all. So all the stuff playing in the background that I'm reacting to, you can't hear it at all. And I'm watching this video back and I'm like, my God, in 2.5 years, I've like completely changed as a creator. Like my content is so different now compared to what it used to be. And that's a great thing. Like that's actually a really good thing. These big improvements, these giant jumps and strides that I made in the last few years, rather than me just stagnating, because that's what it was. For a very long time, I was stuck, stagnated in the same spot. and now things have changed dramatically. Okay. So, that was fun. And then, of course, I watched a bunch of K-pop videos, and then there was some like food vlogging and stuff like that. It was a good final video. So I really enjoyed doing it. I've got it done. And now the good news is, moving forward, I'm not going to have to take nights off in order to do private react stuff. Every once in a while, I may like squeeze in one video here or there, but it ain't going to be crazy where like, I'm spending insane amounts of time doing it. I'd much rather be here with you guys doing stuff for everyone and having a good time rather than taking those nights off. Okay, so Slayer, thank you. And so he started off today with a $5 contribution, and here's what he has to say, kind of a final closing thought. He says, I want to say I really enjoyed the private react from you yesterday. You covered a lot, and I enjoyed your take on the videos like the K-pop ones, the upgraded visuals and audio that you've had in your setup, and your thoughts on Singapore. That's right. There was actually a flyover of Singapore with a drone, and I basically gave my thoughts about Singapore versus America and different ways that the governments and the culture are, and how people are critical of Singapore and its government, but some people probably would very much enjoy living in a country where there's low crime, no pollution, no littering, and they'd be willing to give up their personal freedoms to have that level of cleanliness and safety, because they'd rather have less freedoms to live in a better place rather than in a place where there's crime and chaos and crap all over the place. Just saying. Anyway, so yeah, talked about all of that. And then he says, it's sad that this will be the final react, but hopefully it will come back again eventually. I don't know if it'll come back again eventually, quite frankly. If anything, if it comes back, the way I see it coming back is going to be, it's not going to be for one person. It's going to be like people that want it. Like, let's say, for example, a group of people come together and say, we really want Phil to react to this one thing, and they can pool together and let me know and maybe, do a goal for it, or, do some way to like, finance and support it. So that way, if I am taking time out of my schedule to do it, it's worthwhile, but it's something that everyone's going to enjoy and see because a group of people are interested as opposed to just one person. I do feel like it was a misstep making videos for just one person at a time. Okay. So let's see. So he says, by the way, with cruise pricing, which I kind of knew, I was reacting to food on a cruise, okay? Pax means the number of people. So a cruise was $3,000 for 4 days, 3-night cruise for 4 people, about $1,000 for each person. Yeah, I figured as much, but that's very specific to the video. You guys have no idea what that has to do with. All right, so Slayer, thank you. Personally, I just like to say publicly to Slayer, thank you for the 2.5 years of helping me out, financing those videos. Yes, they legit did help me during a time when things were slowing down and I was making less and things were getting tight. And I do appreciate that it happened. But it's time to move on, just like everything. The React show we ended last year and everything. We're moving back to bigger, better stuff. And we'll see what happens. I do like reacting to stuff. Don't get me wrong. I do enjoy it. I just feel like if we're going to do it, we need to find stuff that a lot of people are requesting or wanting rather than just one person, So, all right. So that was the first contribution of the day. Now, let's transition this into our next topic. If you take a look down below, everyone, you're going to notice something. It says goals hit 72 out of 80. Now, wait a minute. Yesterday, I only streamed one stream because I did that private react at night. And if you were here for the end of yesterday's Stalker 2 stream, you would have noticed we were at $115, and then we did DSP tries it, and then the stream ended. So what happened? Well, as the stream ended, I'm not going to lie, I had to use the bathroom right away after eating that sandwich. I don't know if it was that pepper relish or whatever, but I had to run to the bathroom, so I did. So I used the bathroom, and then as I came back and I was about to film the daily wrap, there was an email in my inbox. I had received a $35 anonymous tip. Not even a name attached or a message. It was just a $35 anonymous tip. And I was like, well then, awesome. That's great, and we'll count it towards the goal. We hit 72 out of 80. Now, the funny part about it was I went ahead and I recorded the daily wrap, and I explained, hey, this is why we're counting it towards the goals or whatever. This is awesome. These morons out there are actually saying that I made it up. Oh, the tip wasn't real. Okay, now listen to me. I really, at this point, they are so desperate to say that something that I said is a lie, even though no one fucking cares anyway. but they're so desperate to say that something I said is a lie, they don't even make logical sense with their claims anymore. All right? I want you to think about this. I don't have a streak anymore. There's no streak, okay? It doesn't matter if I hit that goal yesterday or not. It's the same to me. It's not like, oh, the momentum is over. The momentum still continues because if you don't hit a goal one day, you could still hit the goal the next day. There's no streak. So there's literally no incentive whatsoever for me to lie about getting a contribution. It doesn't benefit me at all. It's not like, oh, the momentum of the streak continues and more people want to contribute. It doesn't do that. There's no streak. So why would I lie? It literally makes no sense at all. In fact, wouldn't I lie the opposite way and say we didn't hit it so that way I don't have to give you a reward as quickly as possible? Because that's how it works now. When we hit these goal milestones, I have to give you a reward every 10, and then every 50, we're doing a big event. Remember, at 100, when we hit 100 goals hit, you guys are going to pick a game for viewer's choice. And I'm going to do a marathon day where we play that game all day long, and we determine if it's good enough to become a full playthrough, which it very well might be. Okay? And there's going to be food and booze and a celebration style that day, just like I do with my other marathons. So why would I lie and have to give that to you earlier? What? None of this makes any sense. But then again, nothing they ever said made sense. They're fucking morons. They're mouth droolers. They're slow. That's what they do. They literally, anything to say Phil did something wrong. But what you're saying has no actual merit because it would actually hurt me to lie about making more income. Don't you get it? So anyway, I'm the way I treat it, hey, I'm happy. Listen, I more obviously, it's a community feeling, right? So if we hit it earlier or whatever, that's great, right? For you guys, you get the reward earlier. And so we did hit it yesterday. We did hit 72. And I hope that you guys are excited for the next reward. So yesterday we did the DSP tries it on the spicy chicken Italian sandwich from Jersey Mike's, which was good, but definitely should have been better in my opinion. There was a few missteps there with the way that they designed the sandwich, okay? So yesterday, we actually came up with some interesting ideas for the next DSP tries it. But I think I've come to my decision of what I want to do. If you remember what we were talking about, number one was Taco Bell, which just added some new food items to the menu. There's a new, cheese-covered burritos that you dip in sauce or something, plus a new kind of fries and these frozen versions of the Baja Blast drink. So that's one. The other was Chick-fil-A, which I've only had maybe twice ever, and the 2 times I had it years ago, I absolutely loved it, but I never got it. So come to find out, all right, I looked into this last night. There's a Chick-fil-A really close to me now, which I didn't know. The one that I used to go to was down at the mall area, but that's like over a half an hour drive away. So I always kind of, didn't want to order from it because I'm like, dude, if I order from it, it's going to take a long time for the food to get here and it's going to be cold and not very good. So I never got Chick-fil-A. Well, guess what? There's a Chick-fil-A downtown in my town now, which I didn't even know. I never go downtown. I hate it down there. The traffic's terrible and everything, so I never go down there. And it's only like 10 minutes away. So Chick-fil-A, 100% is definitely what I want to do next for DSP Tries It. I've never done it whatsoever on DSP Tries It. I've only had the food maybe like twice. They have a good variety of stuff. You can get breaded chicken in spicy or regular varieties. You can get chicken nuggets. You can get grilled chicken and grilled chicken nuggets. They've got fries. They've got other sides, and they've got drinks. So there's a good variety of stuff that I can get from there. So the next DSP Tries It reward at 80 goals hit will be me trying Chick-fil-A for the very first time. Now, here's the thing. I may try it and not like it and be like, wow, this is overrated because I haven't had it in years. When I had it years ago, I liked it, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be as good years later. This is also a different location I've never ate from before, right? Or it could be really good. All right, so I'm excited for this. So let's go ahead and let's start working towards that. Now we actually know what the reward will be. The Chick-fil-A reward at 80. And then here's what we're going to do, okay? when we hit 80, which will happen in the next week for sure, right? When we hit 80 goals hit, we are going to start setting up for the 100 goal celebration because it's going to take some time for people to start nominating and voting on a game for viewers' choice. So when we hit 80 that day on the show, the podcast or whatever, we will set up a thread where you guys will start to paste up your nominations of what food you want to see me do. Excuse me, what game you want to see me play for the upcoming viewers' choice marathon event. Okay. And then once we have, games nominated, we'll tally them up. We'll do a poll. You guys will vote because it's going to take a couple of weeks to do that. So that's why I need to have that time frame to do it. Okay. So the sooner we hit 80 goals, the sooner we try Chick-fil-A for the very first time here on the show, and the sooner we start setting up for the 100 goal celebration of the viewers' choice event. Okay. So what's the moral of the story here? Contribute to my streams right now. Open your wallets. Open your damn wallets. Toss the money. Enter the credit card numbers. Do it right now. All right. Obviously, I'm being a little over dramatic there. But yeah, you contribute now. Obviously, you support the business. You support the streams. And you're going to get your rewards earlier. And we get to work towards the big reward. I'm excited to see what kind of games you guys are interested to see me play for Viewers' Choice. Keep in mind, Viewers' Choice events in the past have been awesome, okay? Viewers' Choice events we've done have opened my eyes to entire kinds of gaming and franchises that I'm not even aware exist in the past. I've played franchises like Danganronpa, Persona, Yakuza. I've played games such as Sonic 2006, okay? Real stinkers, but then there's been some great ones like Super Mario Sunshine, games that I missed out on that people really like. You guys have been saying, are you going to play the Legacy of Kain collection? Are you going to play this collection or this game that came out? Well, no, but for viewers' choice, it could work, right? So now is your opportunity to think, what games do I want Phil to play? And very soon, when we hit 80 goals, you guys will start nominating these, and I'm very excited to see what you guys come up with, okay? So start thinking now. Get something in your mind now, what you're interested in, so that we can get that going as soon as possible. Once again, boy, look at this. This one piece of hair every day sticks up. It's this hair right here in my hand. See it? See this hair? I'm about to go get shears and just chop it because it never stays down. It just sticks straight up on the back of my head and it looks stupid. One piece of hair every day. Whatever. Anyway. So that's coming up. I'm excited. Let's get some support going. So far, we got a tip from Slayer, right? Let's get some stuff going. If you're on YouTube, super chats, super stickers, memberships, and gifted memberships, let's get them rolling. On the kick side, let's get some subs and gifted subs today. I've noticed the last day, big slowdown there on both of those, okay? We actually got a good amount of tips yesterday, but everything else was very, very slow, all right? So let's get it rolling today. Let's get some support, shall we? And of course, tips as well are always well appreciated via PayPal, and anyone could do that because that's a third-party deal. Okay, speaking of which, I received a $4.20 tip. Let's see here. Let's see what this person has to say. So, 420 tip. Not the biggest one of the day, but let's get that added to our total here. So this person says, I want to say thank you for your streams. You helped me get through hard days at work. Seriously, Phil, thank you. Do you have tips on dealing with trolls? I'm having a hard time on X dealing with them right now. On X, it's kind of weird. For me, I opened up all my replies and everything on X. I had it set that no one could reply to my posts for 2 years. And then I was like, I'll just open it up again. I don't really give a shit. And I'm well aware that, again, a group of mentally stunted, obsessed weirdos responds to everything I post on X negatively. And if you just read the comments in response to any of my tweets, you can laugh your ass off at seeing some of the most mentally deficient people on the planet try to get attention for themselves. I don't read my responses at all. I ignore them. There's actually a way on X to basically, I don't know what it is or what it's called, but I think if X notices that you're getting a ton of bombardment with negativity, you could turn on this mode where you don't see all the responses and everyone. Because I stopped banning people and everything, like blocking them on X a long time ago. I just don't see their responses anymore. I don't. I just use X for business purposes. Like I post up my schedule, I post up when I make a new highlight video and stuff like that. And if there's maybe something like, oh, schedule change or whatever, but that's really what I use X for. I don't really use X for much else. So I actually have no idea. I actually have no idea, what it is that I have enabled, but there's some mode on X enabled that I just don't see the bad responses. So they don't affect me because I don't care about them. But I don't know what mode that is. I'm not sure how to do it. It just seemed to be something that it popped up one day and was like, hey, do you want to enable this mode? And I was like, yeah. And then it stopped it. But outside of that, just don't pay attention to morons. I don't. You're going to have a bunch of idiots on X, just fucking ignore them. They're never going to go away, especially for me, because, these people have become so obsessed with the idea of a negative meme about Darkside Phil that's not real. All the shit that they talk about and they make up is just so dumb. It's just insanely stupid, over the top nonsense. So, there's no point to even giving it any attention. Like who cares what someone on the internet says about you? Fuck them. They're insignificant, right? Again, a fart in the wind. Don't let it bother you. The thing is with someone like me, I have an internet presence. That's my job. And that's my, what I need to rely on, in order to have any kind of following. So it sucks when you have these morons who are always around being negative, but I don't let it bother me, So yeah, don't let it bother you. Just ignore the morons. There's always going to be someone trying to bring you down because they're jealous. It's that simple. Okay. All right. So we've talked about all of that. So now here's the deal. Okay, here's what we got to figure out today. This is my one real topic of focus that I want to talk about today. And then after that, we could just do like Q&A and chill until we play Dark Souls, okay? So here's the deal. Yesterday, I came to a moment playing Stalker 2, okay? Just to explain, this is how bad Stalker 2 is. And I'm sorry, I said this point yesterday, and I think some people get it and some people don't. You can like and enjoy Stalker 2, but if you actually tell me you think that game is a good game, I'm actually got to be like, nah, you're factually wrong, okay? Stalker 2 is a game that is so badly designed in certain parts, it's hard to even take the game seriously. Now, I understand why some people would like a janky game, why some people will get enjoyment out of a game that's kind of unpolished and glitchy and messed up. But the game itself is broken. It's innately, the design is flawed, okay? To give you perspective of what I'm talking about. Yesterday, I'm on a mission where I need to escape from, an area that I had, like a base that I had taken over or whatever. It's the monolith people. So these people are like tanks. They're mind controlled and they take a bunch of shots to take down. They're not easy to kill, okay? There is a staircase, a metal staircase that winds like this up a circular room, like a column. You have to go up this staircase to escape. The room is absolutely full of enemies from top to bottom. There's 2, 3, 4 guys on the staircase, and there's guys on the edges that are positioned. They're all literally looking down like this, and they're all psychic. Now, what does that mean? It means because the game is broken, it's not programmed well. The moment that anyone even gets in your vicinity in this game, they immediately detect you and know exactly where you are, and get this, can shoot you even when they can't see you with line of sight. They still know where you are and can shoot. They can shoot through walls. They can shoot through metal. They can shoot through anything. The guy could have a shotgun and you're below him and there's metal. He's standing on metal like a staircase. He could just aim down and fire with the shotgun and the shotgun goes right through the staircase and hurts you. So what I'm describing to you right now, you may be like, I don't get it. How could anyone like that game? I really don't know. But there are people who do. And again, I'm not going to be the kind of person like I used to be and hate on people for liking stuff. Listen, if you like jank, good for you, I guess. But for me, I prefer games that function. Like a game where an enemy isn't psychic, knows where you are at all times, has perfect aim, auto-aiming on you, and shoots through walls to hit you. That's a little bit on the fucking really unpolished, ludicrous side of things where I don't have fun anymore. Okay? So basically, I tried to get out of this column staircase room for over 30 minutes. I tried everything. I tried running through. I tried carefully sniping. I tried healing constantly. I tried everything. You can't do it because the enemies, and by the way, the other point I didn't make, these enemies shoot you, and when they do, they take 80% of your health for like a glancing shot that barely hits you. It grazes you, and you lose 80% of your health. Keep in mind, these are people using shotguns from a million miles away. It's not like they're in your face. They're way up there, and they're using a shotgun firing down, and it's taking your entire life bar because one tiny piece of buckshot grazed your ear. Like, what is wrong with this fucking game? So, yeah, it's incredibly frustrating. It's not fun to play at this point. And from what I'm being told, it gets worse. This game makes you run around in the open world so much, it's just a bunch of time wasting, and it's boring. It would be one thing if, like, you're going somewhere and you're there for the very first time and you're just exploring. No, this game is like walk across the map, 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 the map, the map, the map. I'm bored of your fucking map. Your map isn't fun anymore. In Fallout, when you're exploring the map, it's fun. In this game, it's insanely tedious. There's really nothing anywhere to find. It's just a bunch of the fucking anomalies constantly annoying you, or mutated creatures that are really annoying. Like, there's nothing fun in the environments in this game. It's just annoying. Okay, the best way I've described this game at this point, 30 hours in, it's this. Imagine you want to play Fallout. So you're playing Fallout and you're having a good time, but while you're playing it, someone walks into your room, picks up a big 2x4, and smashes your testicle sack. That's Stalker 2. It has things that are good. It has moments of enjoyment, and parts of the plot are great. But as you play it, it becomes so fucking annoying. It's like someone is constantly bothering you or causing you pain, right? I want to play Fallout, but I got a 4-year-old who's grabbing my leg, pulling, going, me. Why are you doing that? Well, that's the equivalent of having to eat the food, take the energy drink, take the anti-rad, heal, put on a bandage because you're bleeding. Oops, you're hungry again. Eat the food. Take this. It's like, me. Well, no, I just want to play your game, you fucking idiots. Why'd you put 7,000 little mini bullshit things in there to make the game annoying instead of allowing me to just play the game and enjoy it? And that's the problem with Stalker 2. They had all these ideas that they would make a survival game based around every enemy hits you for insane amounts of damage. You constantly have to be managing your health and your energy. But did they ever have anyone test the game and ask, is this fun? Because that's actually what the game is missing, a fun factor. Like, the reason Fallout's fun is because you don't have to obviously be constantly micromanaging a bunch of bullshit. You could just enjoy the game. You can't enjoy Stalker 2. There's constant annoyances, constant pain, constant things that piss you the fuck off. Why are you doing this to me? Just let me play your game and stop annoying me. And it's not getting better. I'm being told in the end game, these last 10 to 20 hours, the game gets so bad, you have to endlessly fight enemy gauntlets of infinitely spawning enemies who are all psychic, who all shoot you perfectly. It's like, get the fuck out of here, dude. So by the way, you might wonder, did I ever beat the column room with the staircase? Yes. You want to know what I did? I took every drug in the game. There's like 4 drugs. So I took every drug. One's like, makes your weight lighter. One is like psi resistance. It should be psi, not C. They call it C. It's spelled PSI. They pronounce it C. No, it's psi, like psychic, stupid. Why the fuck are you pronouncing it like C? You made the game. You don't even know how to pronounce the thing in your game. It's pretty stupid. But yeah, so I popped that. There's like 4. I popped all 4 of these things, and I literally said, fuck this game. And I ran up the staircase as fast as I humanly could as they were all shooting me. And as they were shooting me, I was injecting myself with syringes. So I'm all drugged up, hopped up, and I'm running up the staircase, injecting myself like this, like a fucking asshole. And I actually made it. I got out of the staircase. I ran away at maximum speed. I must have looked like a guy running through the fields, but I made it away. And it's like, do I really want to play the rest of the game like that? No, I want to play the game. I want to shoot the enemies. I want to do loot, but I can't because they designed it so fucking poorly that there's no fun to be had. I don't want to smash my ball sack another 14 times with the 2x4. I want to play games that are fun to play. You get it? So, basically, those who were on the stream yesterday were of the impression that I should drop it. I'm not kidding. Like, people were like, dude, we can see this game is just no fun at this point. You should drop it and play other stuff that you're going to enjoy. So I'm okay with that, but only if we can come up with something else to replace it that's going to be fun and that it's not going to piss people off that I spent 30 hours on the playthrough and now I'm quitting. You know, the thing is, I wonder if the game actually is worth beating. Like, if I beat the game, is there a good ending? Is there a good story resolution? Or at this point, is it like, am I just spinning my wheels because if I beat the game, there's no real reward at the end either, and I'm just going to be angry, right? I kind of feel like that's the case. Like, I'm going to beat the game and be like, okay, here's my reward, and the ending will suck, and I'll be like, why the fuck did I ever play this game? You know, I don't know. So I would love to hear about your feedback on this. The thing is, we have a few days to figure this out, okay? Today we're set. I'm off tomorrow. Sunday we're booked, and Monday we're booked, okay? We have until Tuesday, basically, to figure out, am I continuing with Stalker 2, or are we dropping this fucking thing like a hot rock and moving on? Now, possibilities of things to do. Let's talk, okay? But first off, I have a shout out to do. I have a very generous $20 tip this morning. I really appreciate your advice. Thank you, Phil. It means a lot to me, especially from a mental health perspective. Thank you. You're welcome. Again, don't worry about what people and idiots say on the internet. There's always someone who wants to drag you down no matter what. And I've learned to just ignore the white noise and just push forward positively with life. I don't even read responses. I really don't. I do not read these toxic responses of these idiots on social media. It's not worth my time. All right. Thank you. Wow. A very nice $20 tip. I really appreciate that. And that is an anonymous tip. They don't know this person's name, or they just chose to not be identified by a name, which is fine. Up to $29 of support and climbing today, guys. Again, thanks for the tips, but guys, let's get some stuff going on YouTube and Kick. Let's get some memberships, some subs, some super chats. Let's get some other contributions in. Variety. Let's get this leaderboard populated, right? All right. Okay. So, Ellipsian, it says, there are multiple endings to Stalker 2, but I'm not sure if any of them were actually going to satisfy you. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Let's talk right now about what could replace Stalker 2. We've got a few ideas. Okay. Number one is the game that we've already talked about. We already said it, that we want to do as a playthrough. Okay. And that game is Dino Crisis. This is a game that's a PS1 era classic survival horror from the same era as classic Resident Evils. This is a game that I've played multiple times on Halloween marathons, started it up and played the first hour, and then never continued. But now we have the means to do it because I have it on my PS5 Pro. So that means we can play it with saving whenever we want, reloading whenever we want, and we could actually take on the game in a fair pace and play it and actually experience it together for the first time. I've never played it. I have no idea what to expect. I don't know what dinosaurs are in it. I don't know about the jump scares. I don't know the puzzles. I know nothing. So this is completely blind playthrough for me. If we were to start Dino Crisis, I'd be excited for that. But the question is, are people going to show up and engage and support a PS1 game? It is being played on PS5 Pro, and the graphics are upscaled and look great on PS5 Pro. So it doesn't really look like a PS1 game. But will people show up for that? For me, my take is I would love to play it. I would be very excited to play this game for you. But is that something that all of you want? Okay? That's option number one. Okay? Now, other options. All right? There have been collections and other games that have been coming out that I've been skipping and not really playing over the last couple of months. I know there was a Legacy of Kain collection. There was a few others that you guys had mentioned. Now, I'm not keeping up on those. But if you guys had any ideas about that, let me know. All right. I'd like to hear if you have ideas of things that I have missed. There's another game just came out, I think today, Dynasty Warriors Origins. And apparently this is a brand new Dynasty Warriors game, finally with modernized graphics. They actually made the graphics like super high end. Okay. The bummer with this game though, it's $70 plus tax. And that's a big price to ask for a game. The franchise hasn't been around for a while. And as you know, Dynasty Warriors gets very repetitive. So I don't know if that's a game. Like, I could see us playing it once or twice and having a great time with it. Just the first couple streams. But after that, getting bored because it's just too repetitive, right? So I don't know. Would it work? Would it not? I'm down for it to give it a shot. I like Dynasty Warriors games. But the last couple times I tried playing Dynasty Warriors, it didn't work. The original playthrough of Dynasty Warriors I did over a decade ago was amazing. Everyone loved it. But then after that, it died out. Every time I tried after, it didn't really work. Okay? And I don't want to invest 70 plus bucks, play the game twice, and no one likes it. Okay? So it's something to consider. Dynasty Warriors Origins is a maybe for me, but I don't know if it'll work or not. That's what I need feedback on. So we got Dino Crisis, and we got Dynasty Warriors Origins, right? Marina X, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm so confused. Hold on. Marina X said, hold on. This person is actually, so Marina X is on a hike. He says, how about for a reward, an IRL vertical stream, like going on a hike or sobering and answering questions on a specific topic? You mean like IRL content? Now, see, here's the thing, and sadly, Marina X, you probably, maybe not aware of this. I have these actual crazy people on the internet who do everything they can to try to like mess with my life. Even though I don't really talk about it much, you guys aren't aware of it, but they do. They do all these stupid things behind the scenes. And if I were to try to do anything in person, they would try to find out where I am, what I'm doing, and fuck with it in some way. Okay? If I were to go hiking, they'd probably try to show up and film me and fuck with me. If I said I'm going to go somewhere, they'd probably like fucking SWAT the place. You know, that's how fucked up these people are. So I've said over and over the years, my work is going to be based on what I do in this room. I'm not saying that might not change in the future, but for safety purposes, to make it that people can't mess with the situation, everything that I do is in this office, right? And listen, I just invested a ton of my time and money in this office and this setup. I don't want to do IRL content, okay? Maybe that'll change long term, but as of now, I think it's the safest and best thing to do is to not be tempting these idiots to do something stupid, okay? There's 5 endings for Dino Crisis? Oh, that's interesting. 5 completely different endings? Wow. Neat. I received another 420 tip. Check cdkeys.com before buying any game on PC. Oh, yeah? They get them cheap? Because through Steam, Dynasty Warriors is freaking expensive. It's $79.99. No, $69.99 plus tax. So that's pretty pricey for a game where you're going to just run around and chop people up. You know, big groups of enemies or whatever. Like, I get it because I played it before and it is addictive and fun. But, like, that's a big amount of money in this day and age for that kind of a game. You know, it's not like this game is going to be riveting and have all kinds of great revolutionary content or whatever. I'd probably have to see if it's cheaper somewhere else. Oh, yeah? Itzy says the IGN review says the new Dynasty Warriors is the best one. Wow. There you go. One Sick Puppy says, yes, play the new Dynasty Warriors, drop Stalker 2. Would I consider playing Mouth Washing, a short narrative horror game on Steam? Mouth Washing? The heck? Super Bonchon says, what about a Metro game? I've literally played them all. I played all the Metro games already. So sadly, wouldn't really work because it would be like a retread of a game I've already done. And I do like the Metro games, by the way. I think that they're great. What did you call it? Mouth washing? Yeah, mouth washing. Here it is. What the hell is this? The crew members of the Tolpar are stranded in the empty reaches of space, shrouded in perpetual sunset. God is not watching. What? What in the hell is this? This game looks wacky as shit, dude. Look at this shit. Ugh. Kills 99.9% of all germs. We should have some. Look, what the fuck? Look at this. What?
Polly says.
Paulie says, "Woo! What the fuck? What in the holy hell is going on, dude? I don't know. This was a weird one. I mean, maybe, but it seems very bizarre." Ay, ay, ay. Developed by Colgate, yes. Let's see here. I should take a picture of my wife's food to share during DSP Tries It. Well, what does that have to do with DSP Tries It? The whole point of DSP Tries It is that I'm reviewing food. What does my wife's food have to do with that? Like, she's not reviewing the food. I couldn't even, Anyway. Lady Charisma says, yes, that game is great for an indie game. It's a great horror game. Huh. It seems bizarre, but hey. I mean, listen, I'm more willing to consider that kind of stuff now. If you guys think that that game's good and it's something you want to see me try to play, it's only $13. It ain't a big deal. So yeah, I could try for like a night stream and see if it works. Excuse me. No plans to get Street Fighter 6 on Nintendo Switch. I didn't even know what was going on there. Onimusha Warlords. I know about Little Nightmares 1 and 2. I played Little Nightmares 1. I watched a playthrough of Little Nightmares 2. It didn't really work. Little Nightmares 1 didn't really work on my stream. People found it boring. And 2, quite frankly, I don't think would have worked either. So far, our ideas are Dino Crisis or Dynasty Warriors Origins, okay? Those are our two ideas. To let you guys know, here's what I have planned for streams in the next week, okay? So here's what I've got planned. On Sunday, I actually want to do a full day stream of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 multiplayer, daytime stream. It's like a 3-hour stream rather than a night stream like I usually do. I've really been enjoying playing the game on mouse and keyboard, but a lot of the time I feel like I'm just getting going with a goal or something I'm working on, and then I run out of time. Like last time, it took an hour to do the daily challenges. Then I was just getting going with this handgun that I wanted to unlock dual handgun akimbo, and then I ran out of time when I was like halfway through it. And I was like, oh, it sucks that I ran out of time. So I want to do a major stream of it on Sunday. Sunday night, I want to do an Indies variety night. It's going to be Balatro on the first hour, so we'll do a run in Balatro, and then we're going to do the coin game for the second half, and that's going to be the end of the coin game because there's only a little bit of content left in the coin game, and then we've seen everything in it. So that could kind of be like a send-off for both games. Maybe we will go back to Balatro every once in a while. But for coin game, I kind of want to finish it up and say, okay, that's the playthrough. So that's going to be like one more indie stream of those on Sunday night. And then Monday, I want to do more Dark Souls with mods and Marvel Rivals. Since you guys keep requesting it, all right, I'm going to do Marvel Rivals on a night stream on Monday. And we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to be honest, I'm not convinced it's going to work, but I do hope it does because you guys have been requesting it a lot in the last couple of weeks. So this is your big chance. If you like Marvel Rivals, if you want to see me play it, show up on Monday night, watch the stream, engage with the stream, and support the stream. If the Marvel Rivals stream does well on Monday night, I will bring Marvel Rivals back into the rotation. If it does poorly, I'm not going to play it anymore. I wanted to play more Marvel Rivals, and I stopped playing it because no one was showing up and supporting. I need people to show up and engage and support. Please do on Monday night, okay? So that's all I've really got. I've got Tuesday and Wednesday for gameplay that I don't even know what I want to do yet. So based on your feedback, maybe we'll start Dino Crisis on Tuesday. Maybe we'll start this Dynasty Warrior. I don't know. We'll think about it, okay? Cool. Jinx, how are you this morning? How's it going? Good to see you. Would I play Viking Battle for Asgard? I have no idea because I don't know what that is. What is Viking Battle for Asgard? Anyone know? All right, so in a nutshell, here's what we determined today. Number one, the next DSP Tries It will be Chick-fil-A. And when we hit 80 goals, we're going to begin the preparation for the big 100-goal event, which is a Viewer's Choice Marathon Special. All right, I'm excited for that. So let's get it going. Please support the streams. That's number one. Number two, Stalker 2 is uncertain if it's going to continue. I need feedback over the next several days if you want to see it continue. And we need to start determining what the next games are. Right now, the possibilities are Dino Crisis and Dynasty Warriors Origins, unless we come up with better ideas. We do have a suggestion for Mouthwashing as like a late-night horror game at some point. So that could be as well. Okay? There you go. Pinnacle Steve, if you're going to sit here and complain before I've even played Marvel Rivals, I'm going to recommend that you don't show up for Marvel Rivals and you just stop with your whining. Seriously. Guy's already complaining. So, I have not seen the Blood of the Dawn Walker trailer, Eska. I know it exists. I saw about it on social media, but no one really talked to me about it or asked me about it, so I don't know about it. No. Jinx says, I don't think you should quit Stalker 2, but if you do, you should definitely play Dynasty Warrior. Oh? Dip the chicken in pickle juice. I've saved you money. What are you talking about, Lady Charisma? What? That seemed like a pretty off-the-cuff comment. Did you play The Forest only during an Indies marathon? Would you consider it for a possible playthrough? I did play it only during an Indies marathon. I didn't really understand what was going on. I didn't like it that much. Maybe if I had played it more seriously and I understood what was going on, then I would like it more. I don't know. But as for the Indies marathon, yeah, we never went back to it. So according to Pinnacle Steve, unless I play the game exactly the way that Pinnacle Steve is demanding that I play it, I should not play it ever again. I'm serious. This person actually thinks that they're so important that they could come on my stream, demand that I play Marvel Rivals in a certain methodology and manner, and if I don't, then I specifically should never play it again just because Pinnacle Steve is so important. We must do what they demand. That's very interesting. That's very, very interesting. No, NMix, I'm not really interested in the new Sniper Elite game. Because I played the last one and I was like, I played it for a little bit and I kind of didn't really care about it anymore. I don't really think the Sniper games are that interesting anymore, to be frank. Lady Christmas says Chick-fil-A is overrated. Marinating their chicken in pickle juice is how they get the taste. Is it true? I wouldn't know. I've only had it twice, and both times I had the spicy sandwich. So I liked it, but I don't know. Maybe I would get different stuff. Maybe I would get like a grilled and a breaded and try the different kinds of chicken. No, I have not seen Wang Hun's War of the Five Bands on Netflix. No, I have not. So, we basically covered all the topics I'd like to talk about, all right? If you guys have suggestions for DSP Tries It, for games coming up, if you want to let me know if I should keep playing Stalker 2 or not. Please share those opinions and let me know. But outside of that, let's open up the show. Tag me in the chat, on either chat, Kick or YouTube. Here it is again. Here's this piece of hair that won't stop sticking up. Look, there it is. Yeah, tag me on Kick or YouTube. Let me know what you want to chat about, and let's do some open discussion for the rest of the show. Like I said, I didn't have that much today. No, I've never heard of a game called Half Demon Shinobi. You know, you guys just tag me to ask me if I've heard about a random game. How about this? Just assume I haven't heard about it, because I probably didn't. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And, you know, preface your question like that. Like, Phil has no idea what you're talking about. So now continue to discuss as if Phil doesn't know what you're talking about. Okay? And Mix, I actually did a highlight. And Mix says, I missed your react to the Switch 2 yesterday. I did a highlight video. It's on the channel right now, about 18 minutes long. I edited it out of the podcast. It's a very good watch, and people are watching it and liking it. Give it a look. You'll get your answers. What's up, Avarice? How you doing today? Was I ever a Fantastic Four fan? I never read the comics whatsoever. They had a TV show at one point. I saw a few episodes, thought it was okay. But don't know too much about the Fantastic Four outside of very basic stuff. Do I every now and then miss my days in the FGC traveling and meeting other players? Let me put it this way. At that time in my life, all right, my FGC stuff was the highlight of what was going on. Like, my real life stuff outside of the FGC was very boring. It was essentially working jobs I didn't really care about. You know, at that point in my life, I was working like either fast food or Circuit City, you know, stuff like that. My early FGC days. And, you know, I was going to college. College was boring to me too. Like, I wasn't really interested in it. So really, like, the highlight of my time was, you know, trudging through school and work and saving up enough time and money to go to a tournament, you know, and then I would be able to interact with people from all over the country and hang out and play and compete and see, hey, can I hang with these guys at a competitive level and stuff like that? It was fun. But today, do I miss it? No. The only thing that I would miss, like, I love Super Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. It's my favorite fighting game of all time, and I just don't get to play it. There's no means for me to play that game right now. If I wanted to play it, there's no collection that anyone's actively playing on any console or on PC. I can't play Fightcade because Fightcade literally has 0 protections. People can get your IP address when you play on Fightcade with the IP resolver very easily. So there's no way for me to play Super Turbo at all. So that sucks. Like, I crave playing Super Turbo. I love the game, and now I haven't played it in years. I really wish that they would come up with a way to play it. I mean, make a collection with it in it that's viable, you know. I don't know why they don't. But it sucks. That's what I miss, like Super Turbo and playing it at a high level and having good comp and hanging out with people playing Super Turbo. Yeah. And also, you know, back in the day when I hung out with certain groups of people in the Northeast United States, they were really cool and we had some good times together playing the games, but also just hanging out and talking shit and having a good time. And yeah, do I miss those days? Yeah, those were good times. But I'm very happy with my life now. My life now, as I've told you guys many times, is the best it has ever been. I am healthier, happier right now than any other time in my life. My job is great. My personal life is good. Are there things that could be better? Yes. Are they getting better? Well, I'm working towards that right now. Okay. But things are great. The way I see it is that things are on the way up, 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 and we got to keep that momentum, and we are. So that's the way I approach it. But yeah, do I miss the FGC days? Yeah, there's certain things I miss. But I never really think about, oh, man, I wish I was back then and doing that. No, not at all. What did I have for breakfast? A homemade breakfast burrito that my wife had made, which had scrambled eggs, some cheese, like cheddar cheese, turkey bacon, diced peppers, and a chipotle sauce, cooked and wrapped in a tortilla. And then I warmed that, it's frozen. I warmed that tortilla in the microwave and eat it. And it's absolutely delicious. She makes them about once a week, a big batch of them, and I eat them for breakfast, and they're super duper good. I received a $2.25 tip from I Am Taking a Shit. When will you go back to Stardew Valley? Good question. I do think that we will go back to it in 2025. okay? If you remember, we were playing it in the summer, and that's actually when we suspended the playthrough. And in-game, we're actually in winter. And I was like, you know what's going to happen? We're probably going to go back to Stardew Valley actually during the winter. And it looks like, yeah, that's probably what's going to happen is we will end up going back to it, sometime this winter. It is winter now until like the end of February. So I think we probably will bring it back. I'm not sure exactly when. There hasn't been a big clamor or demand for it, but those were great chill streams, lots of interactivity and people helping me with the mechanics of the game. So I feel like we will go back to it at some point. What's up, Elin? How are you? Cosmo says, did you hear of Lord of the Rings Return to Moria? No. He says, it is a Lord of the Rings based survival crafting game. Oh, I don't know anything about it. Bone-in chicken is work. By the way, if you wonder what some of these names mean, these detractors have started making entire accounts based off of references to things that I've mentioned over the years. I'm not kidding. It's like some of the most crazy, tiny, innocuous, meaningless references, but they're still doing it. Like, I don't like bone-in chicken. It's annoying. I prefer chicken that's boneless because eating around the bones can be messy at like a restaurant, like particularly, like, that's why I don't like chicken wings. So this person actually makes an entire name called Bone-in Chicken is Work. Like, that's not hyper fixation and focusing on something that's completely meaningless, right? So anyway, they said they bought a house. Do I have advice for the first 2 weeks? Yes, don't go out and finance all of the furnishings of your house with credit cards with the expectations that you're going to be able to pay them off for the next couple of years because you'll be declaring bankruptcy in about 6 years. That's the best advice I could give you. Okay. Winston asks, when does DS Politics return? Shall we talk about this? I actually talked about it a little bit yesterday during the Stalker stream, but let's actually talk about it here on the podcast. So, DS Politics, an idea that I had, and we started it last fall. And if you would like to know the truth, I wish I didn't. I wish that I had waited. I feel like I jumped the gun, that I was trying to do it at a time when I was still had extra popularity based on my interactions with the guys from Kino Casino and others. I wish I had waited because I feel like starting DS Politics last year was a little too early. I should have waited for the Trump inauguration and the momentum that inauguration would have brought to politics, because now him being president again and all the things that undoubtedly are going to happen that everyone will be talking about constantly, right? But because I started DS Politics last year when it kind of like was that interim time, and you listen, there were still some great things to talk about on the show, but I feel like that initial momentum that would have been more exciting is gone already, all right? So I really do feel like I kind of blew it with the timing, that I did it too early. If I had waited till like this week or next week or maybe even early next month, it would have been more exciting. But now it's kind of like, well, Phil's already done it, right? Okay, now let's talk about DS Politics. When I started it, the first week it did great. Giant views, right? Over 1,000 viewers, okay? Giant support, huge support for the show. People loved it. I made hundreds upon hundreds of dollars. People were like, wow, this is great new content, all right? Over the course of the month that I did it, literally every episode had way less viewers, way less engagement, and way less support, to the point where that final episode that I did, I felt like I was almost talking to myself. No one in chat was really engaged with the content or talking about it. And I made $60. I make more sitting here just talking to you about nothing than I did on DS Politics. I make more playing any video game. I would make more scratching my ass, okay? So what that tells me is that initially there was interest. People saw what the show was going to be, realized that I wasn't going to be a polarized all the way to the right or all the way to the left asshole. And because I wasn't going to be polarized, they just weren't that interested in my opinions. And then the interest immediately died. Okay? Just being honest here. When I was kind of polarized in an opinion, so for example, when I was destroying this BLM leader and her absolute non-logic backwards side talk out of her fucking mouth, and she was just a complete bitch, okay? When I was destroying her, basically then, people liked it. But then anytime that I had like a rational take, something that wasn't like slamming and destroying someone immediately, no one cared, okay? So, that's just the truth of the matter. Now, I put DS politics on a hiatus for some good reasons, you know, particularly I needed to focus on the special events, the Christmas marathon, okay, this other marathon that we earned through goals hit, and my year-end series. I had to get through all of that stuff, and it's like, how am I going to do DS politics and still play games and all my regular stuff while I'm doing all this other special stuff? I needed to put it on a hiatus regardless. And I said, I will bring back DS politics after the Trump inauguration. Like, I feel once he's in power and stuff starts happening in politics, that would be the time to bring it back and start actively talking about it and covering it again. Okay? I'll be honest with everyone at this point. I haven't even found I'm following the politics, and yes, there's stories to cover for sure. There's stories to cover and things happening, but I don't think like me covering any of these political stories is really going to be very riveting to people at this point. I think people like my takes on certain things. Like, for example, yesterday, my take on the Switch 2. People enjoyed that. My take on Assassin's Creed Shadows getting delayed. My take on Atomfall, when the first gameplay reveal came out and stuff like that. These are the kind of takes that people are enjoying. I'm breaking these out as highlights and uploading them, and they're getting good views. They're getting more views than anything I'm doing on my channel. Okay? That's the kind of stuff that people are looking towards me for. I don't think that many people are saying, I need to get the high-end political opinions from Dark Side Phil, Unlike Review Tech USA, who actually thought that people cared about his political opinions, I never thought anyone would care about my political opinions. It was you guys who said I should do a politics show all this time. It was you. You were the ones that, you should do politics, Phil. We want to see you do politics. So I gave it a shot. I'll be honest, I don't think it really worked. I don't. I put in a lot of work because I was researching tons of stories every week to do that show, putting them together, and I don't really think that people liked it that much. Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but when you see a ton of attention, less attention, pretty much almost no attention, and the lowest supported stream you've had in ages, that tells me something. That's a pattern. That's called a decline. That's called a fall off, and it probably means no one cares. Okay? Now, if you guys disagree and you think me bringing it back would work, I would maybe consider it. But here's what I'm seeing right now. People want me to play certain games. People are enjoying the podcast. People like Smart Guys since I've brought it back. It's doing well right now. This week, we're going to talk about AEW wrestling, which is the first time I've ever seen it. Yes, I did watch AEW wrestling, and I have a lot to say about it on Smart Guys on Tuesday. I think people are going to really like that. So I have these things that are kind of like my forte that I think people enjoy hearing me talk about. Also, like I said, I'm actually in the process of determining if and when I can appear for one or more appearances. I'm being asked to be on a couple different shows right now. And I'm trying to figure it out in my scheduling and everything. And I need to get back to people on. I've been waiting to hear about my schedule. See, the thing is, I don't know about next week because next week I already have an extra day off I'm spending with my wife. So probably I shouldn't also take more time away from stream. Maybe like last week of January or first week of February, I could take some time out to do some special stuff, I'm thinking. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But as for DS politics, I don't know, man. I just don't know if you guys would care. Let me put it this way. Would you prefer if I did a DS politics stream one night, or if we had a stream playing a game that you guys like and we hang out and enjoy? Right? Would you think about the game that you really like right now? What is it? Is it Marvel Rivals? Is it Call of Duty? Is it the Dark Souls with mods? Is it, Dino Crisis you really want to see or whatever? Think about it. Would you rather sit there and enjoy that gameplay stream with me, or would you rather sit there for 2 hours and hear me talk about politics? Like, what do you prefer? Right? What? Big Boss did a $2 super chat and says, Dynasty Warriors Origins with PF Chang's is awesome. Huh? What does Dynasty Warriors Origins have to do with the PF Chang's food chain? What are you talking about? I have no clue what he's talking about. So anyway, listen, okay? I'm not opposed to bringing back DS politics, but I need it to be worth my while and my time. I don't want to spend a bunch of time over the week gathering these news stories, okay? Getting them all together, picking the best ones, covering them in detail to get 200 viewers and make $50. I want it to be something people actually want. I want to make content you want. And there is content in demand right now. There's content in demand on this channel, and it doesn't seem to be politics. Get it? So unless I'm wrong and you guys convince me otherwise, I don't really see the point. That's true. Winston says, I prefer political streams, but it can only garner as much interest as how interesting the news cycle is that week. You're right. You're basically beholden to whatever the topic is that week of what's going on in politics, right? So if it's a great week of debate and all kinds of stuff, but if it's not, then it's going to be a week that's kind of a filler week that's not that good, right? Gerard says, I think some people wanted to get your general political stances and they've lost interest after getting what they wanted. The thing is, I feel like we didn't even touch more than just the tip of the iceberg, right? Like I said, when I started the show was almost a dead time for politics because Trump had won the election, but we were in that floundering in-between time. You know, it ain't really going to hit the ground and get exciting until he's president and changes are starting to happen and sweeping debates are happening about what he's doing. Then I think there's more to talk about. I feel like I started it way too early and people got burned out way too fast on it because I just didn't have super interesting stuff to discuss every week. You know? Wolf-like did a £2 super chat, says probably better to just stick to playing games. Well, again, that seems to be not, and by the way, not just playing games. Let's be honest here. It's kind of hanging out with games, me giving my takes on games, or pro wrestling, which is working now. Like the Smart Guy stuff, 2 episodes in is working well, I feel. And continuing on with that. So, yeah. Portal 2 mods. I'm sure there's tons of mods for the Portal games, right? I'm sure they made a bunch over time. And again, it's something I never dabbled in. I never played mods. So maybe that could be something interesting to check out at some point, would be like mods for classic games that I like Portal 2. I agree there. That might be a good one. No, you see, Prince of Darkness, I think is correct, says, if you're not a firebrand like PPP, then doing politics never will work. You have to be polarized. I'm not shitting you. In order for people to be interested in political content, you either have to be all the way to this side, all the way to that side, slandering and insulting the people who don't agree with you and calling them jackasses. If you are ultra hyper invigorated with energy and just vigor and vitriol, you can work, you can get it to work, because that's what I guess people like. They want drama, right? They want drama. They don't want takes that are like kind of thought out, middle of the road, interest still, you know. Listen, a lot of my takes did lean to the right for some of those topics that we covered, but there are going to be times when I'm not right leaning. I get the feeling that once Trump's in power, that a lot of the things that he's going to do or say, I'm not going to agree with. Okay. So you're going to get like the other way for some of that. But the thing is, my takes are not, oh my God, 100%, I'm so gung-ho for this or that. They're not, and they're never going to be. So I don't think that it's going to be that interesting. More people want me to sit there and just destroy someone rather than actually have like an intelligent, thought out take that could actually make you think. No one wants to think. Everyone just wants to laugh. Let's put it that way. No one wants to think. Everyone just wants to laugh or rage, one or the other. They want emotion rather than intelligence. Some people, there's a few people now who've said this in chat, maybe a political show bi-weekly or monthly. Maybe. Let me put it this way. I am not eager to start the show up right now. Like I said, I was going to do it after the Trump inauguration. He's inaugurated in just a couple days, right? First of all, this week it wouldn't work because this week I already have a day off on Thursday that I need to take off extra. All right. So like the earliest I could even do the show would probably be like, very end of the month or early February. But to be honest, I don't really feel like that's something that I'm interested in doing right now. I want to get solid playthroughs going. I want to continue with the Smart Guy show. Like I said, I actually have interest in appearing on one or two different shows and interviews that people have been talking with me about for a few weeks now. And I'd like to work on that, get some of those going. And then maybe after that, then figure it out. But for me, like right now, I'm just not really eager to jump back into politics. Listen, here we go. Ready for this? Listen, if only you guys had showed up and showered me in views and support, if only you giving me thousands of dollars to do DS Politics, I'd be doing it right now. Maybe I would have become a full-time political guy. But all I know is, what happened. After a month 5, I think it was 5 weeks of doing it, it went on a massive decline. So I do what the people want, Actions speak louder than words. People can ask for it, but if they don't show up and support it, then there's no point in doing it, correct? And I did give it a shot. Vinny's Pizza Real, gee, I wonder what that's a reference to, says, if there's not a lot of new games coming out, then get political and get those 5 bans. There you go. Uh, yeah, I heard about that a Joy-Con on the Switch 2 can be used as a mouse. How is that anything meaningful as a gimmick? It's not. It's not at all. That means you need a desk to fucking play it, right? Right now, the Switch is Joy-Cons that you move around like this. So now to use it as a mouse, you need a desk. How many people play their Switch in front of a desk? 0, I would think. 0 people. So I don't know how that's a useful gimmick that they're claiming is going to be good. That's pretty stupid. What's with the real names in Kick Chat? You don't get it? So as you know, my name on Kick is DSPGaming Real, and it has to be that because some idiot went over on Kick at some point. I don't even know when because I didn't really plan on streaming on Kick. It just kind of happened. But some moron went on Kick and took Darkside Phil, DSP Gaming. They call me DSP. They took every variation of any name that I've had and claimed all the channels. So I had to just make something up, and I was like, fuck it. Let's do DSP Gaming Real, because at least then I could tell everyone that's it, and then they'll know it's really me. But then everyone thinks it's funny to make a name that has real at the end of it. Now, in reality, is it funny? No. It's pretty, stupid. Like you'd be dumb to think that's funny, but a lot of people are dumb. So everyone who has that name is pretty dumb. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you have real at the end of your name right now on Kick, you are pretty dumb. I mean, I'm not. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. I'm gonna tell you how I feel. That is pretty dumb. I think that you shouldn't have real at the end of your name on Kick. You're pretty dumb. Okay. Well, the bottom line is says I am dumb. Well, there you go. I mean, wow. Winston, 5 months as a member, says, I want a Synthetic Man collab. What's your email? I don't know who Synthetic Man is. My email is darksidephil@hotmail.com. Good morning, Lucky Gremlin. Good to see you. Big Boss did another $2 super chat and says, is Dynasty Warriors Origins going to be on the docket? We literally just talked about that it's a possibility, along with Dino Crisis and perhaps some indie games like this indie horror game someone suggested. So, yeah, it is a possibility for sure. I just don't know if it's going to work. I'm of the impression I'm going to buy it, play it twice, and it's going to die. People are going to see it twice and be like, wow, this is boring. But maybe I'm wrong. Synthetic Man is a known racist. Perfect. Absolutely great. Oh, no, it's not that I don't like Dynasty Warriors. I played them back in the day, but they become long, drawn-out slogs. Like, there's, really repetitive gameplay over and over and over, and people get bored of it. Like, the original Dynasty Warriors playthrough I did years ago worked because back then people were eager to see Darkside Phil, who was a prominent gamer on YouTube, play various new genres of games that I'd never touched before. Okay? The second Dynasty Warriors playthrough I did was all right, but didn't do as well. And then when I tried it after that, it never worked. I tried like one or two other times, and everyone just complained constantly, this is too boring, too repetitive. I mean, yeah, we're a decade later, but really, honestly, what do you think has changed about Dynasty Warriors? It's going to be the same gameplay and the same elements. It's just going to be better graphics, right? Now, I'm eager to see how it looks on PC. I think it's going to blow us all away, probably at 4K, in 60 frames, insane amounts of enemies on the screen at once. It could be amazing. But I think that's going to be the only appeal. And once we've seen it perform one or two streams, we're probably not going to care that much anymore, Stables with a $2 super chat says, can't wait for the Nick Fuentes collab. There you go. Well, Nick's a little busy. Isn't he in jail right now? No, he's not. I know, but he got in trouble, right? Didn't he mace someone? He learned nothing from Boogie, basically. He learned absolutely nothing from Boogie. Okay, we got a little bit more time. Whatever you guys want to chat about, please tag me in chat. And again, support would be greatly appreciated. Obviously, let's hit the goal today. Let's keep this momentum rolling. We've now hit multiple goals in a row. Let's keep that going so we can get Chick-fil-A DSP tries it this coming week. And when we hit 80 goals hit, we will start preparations for the big 100-goal celebration, the Viewer's Choice event. You'll start to be able to nominate and vote on games and plan for the big marathon, okay? It's going good, Piano-ish. Thank you for asking. I can't believe it's been over a week since I did the Mega Man event. I feel like I just did it. Doesn't it feel like it was yesterday? It was over a week ago. It doesn't feel like over a week ago at all, man. At all. But I had a ton of fun. To be honest, I really enjoyed the Mega Man event. I like these themed marathons we've been doing. I think they've been a lot of fun. Cosmos, we haven't come to a determination about Stalker. You've been on the stream with me. We didn't decide. I don't know if we're playing it again or not. Have I considered doing things when they're popular rather than if they're on the schedule or not, like when a new Marvel Rivals character comes out? Of course, I know, like the Fantastic Four came out. and people are interested to see me play it to try out the Fantastic Four. So that's why I'm considering bringing it back. On we're going to do it. We're going to do it Monday night. I really hope, honestly, after all the people ask me to play it, I really hope people show up and support on Monday night for Marvel Rivals because I like the game. Again, I want to repeat that. I actually really like Marvel Rivals. I was getting into it and starting to enjoy it and learn it. And then people wouldn't show up and support anymore. And I was like, well, what do you want me to do? I got to do stuff that people want. I got to play games that people are going to show up for. I can't just play games, just for myself. And I hope you understand that, that's the case. I have to be doing stuff that people will be here for. So I hope Monday night will be a turnaround for it and people will actually, show up and enjoy it. Hold on a second. Oh, yeah. Look at that. I was wondering why my RGBs over there look different than here. I set it up a little different. That's why. I have this as black, and over here I have it. Oh, that's completely different. Huh. I wonder if it would look a little different if I changed it. Hold on. Let me try this. This should make it more red. This should actually make it look a lot more red behind me. Because I had it set up to have like black as the background, but now I have it red and it looks a little brighter now, actually. That's a little different. Yeah, I like that. I actually like that better. All right, we'll do it like that. There we go. Like that a little better. Now it looks like more active flame behind me. Before it was a little darker. Now it's a little brighter. There we go. I was wondering, I was like, over here, it's looking different than over here. And I realized that I must have messed with the color settings between the two because they're not matching. And I'm like, why are they not matching? They should be matching and they're not. And then I realized it was completely different. Yeah, they actually are all completely different. This one is color 2. FF9400. This one is FF000. Okay. Just minorly tweaking the colors. I don't really think that changed it much. Okay. So now it looks a little bit more red and orange as opposed to before it was darker. Okay. You seen the new Sonic movie tonight? I wonder what you guys think. A lot of people saw it and said it was good, but I didn't really hear too much about it besides, oh yeah, we all saw it and it was good. That's a little weird. Like, I didn't hear too much about it. Like, I guess it's the story of Shadow the Hedgehog, which I guess a lot of people like the story of Shadow the Hedgehog. Oh, did they? NMix says they've added the PS2 era Indiana Jones game to PlayStation Plus. Huh. Caterade, $5 super chat, biggest one of the day. I wish FromSoft would branch out from Souls IPs. I feel it's becoming repetitive. Well, they have. They did a new Armored Core. They actually brought Armored Core back out of retirement. And that was actually nice that they did that, in my opinion. I thought that the Armored Core actually was a great game. And now they got this weird, it's not really weird, but this what if scenario game where it's going to be Elden Ring, but not. It's basically, playing styles and characters from all of the Souls-like IPs fighting each other, which is going to be neat to do co-op combat. I can't wait for that, actually. I think it's going to be very good to do co-op combat with people, like a roguelike 3-day survival, survive all these bosses in a row and stuff like that. I think it's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to it. The bottom line is asking, with success of games like Black Myth Wukong and Stellar Blade, do you think we'll see more games, from other countries be successful? And the answer, I think, is yes. I think now is the era that there's opportunity for more companies in other countries to make games that are going to work. There used to be a very closed door for that kind of stuff, but now the big AAA companies are failing. They're actually making these games that aren't doing well. They're failing and flopping. And I think that now there's potential that they could be doing much better. So, yeah, I think we will see more games from other countries that normally we haven't seen, and they're going to be good. Like, consider playing Last Descendant. I don't know what that is. This guy's name, just listen to this. I told you. This person's name is Attic Eternia. So me referencing when people say, well, what is the best Christmas present you ever got? And I said, well, I got two. The Super Nintendo was one, and the other was a giant Eternia playset that I got. It was He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Eternia playset, and we built it in my attic because it was so big. It took up too much floor space. So I played with it in the attic, and they said, oh, Attic Eternia. There's a name. What is wrong with you? Seriously, what is wrong with you? Well, you know what? Why not? Where's the Selsun Blue? What about the Axe body detailer that I used to scrub my balls 15 years ago? Why don't you have those names? Axe body detailer right now. Who's going to make that account? And then who's going to give some subs? Because we need some gifted subs today. By the way, I've completely forgotten. I haven't mentioned this in ages. I don't think I've even mentioned this in 2025. Remember, if you gift 25 subs over on Kick, you earn the VIP badge, which is not VIP badge. It is the VIP badge, right? Hold on. I haven't done it in so long. I totally forgot about it. Where's the badges? It is VIP. For 25 gifted subs, you earn the VIP badge over there, which is a unique badge that you get assigned to your name. And if you do something above and beyond, you get the OG badge. Right now, there's really no active way to earn the OG badge, FYI. I haven't really thought about giving it out since, like, Christmas. But for VIP, if anyone gives 25 subs over on Kick, you earn the VIP badge. So far, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people who've done that. Okay? 12 people have earned that. But there's many more spots. I think you can have up to 100. And you get a unique badge that, shows forever on the channel. I just totally forgot all about it because we haven't mentioned it since, like, Christmas. Oh, a couple super chats just came in. We've got, let's see here. Stuart Barrett did a 5-pound super chat and says, do you have any thoughts on the Corey Graves situation in WWE? I don't know what the Corey Graves situation is in WWE. I have no clue. I'm out of the loop. I didn't watch wrestling for 5 years, and I'm just getting back into it, and he hasn't been on TV, so I don't know what the situation is. If you want to fill me in, I would love to hear it, but I don't know what you're talking about. And then I got a $2 super chat from Staples. Don't forget the counter cheddar goldfish. That's right. Remember, I always used to have a box of cheddar goldfish on top of my countertop when I lived in Connecticut over a decade ago, and people would bring it up as a meme. That's correct. If I start doing Chick-fil-A, look for seasonal shakes. They're all very good except banana pudding. Their food is good. They don't need gimmicks like dippable burritos. Their food speaks for itself. That was from The Bottom Line Is. There you go. What's up, King Michael? How are you today? What's up, Corinne? How are you? Stuart says he went mad on Twitter. He got demoted from SmackDown to NXT because he allegedly wasn't famous enough. Oh. When did that happen? I wonder when that happened. I don't know. I don't even watch SmackDown, so, I don't know. No, you cannot get an OG badge and a private react for 25 subs. You can't get a private react for any amount of subs. Private reacts were always done through Patreon. But no, it's not the OG badge, the VIP badge. If you give 25 subs on Kick, I will give you a VIP badge. That deal is still in effect for anyone. Because basically, if you do 25 subs, basically we're right about to hit the goal for the day. So that's amazing. Like right now, if someone did 25 subs on Kick, we hit the goal for the stream, and then we don't have to worry about it for the rest of the stream. So I'll give you the VIP badge for that. Would I play Bug Snacks 2? Yes, I would love to play Bug Snacks 2. Why is everyone asking if the private React era is really over? We already talked about it today. We had a whole segment about it. Why do you want me to repeat myself? What was my favorite show back in the day, Raw or SmackDown? It probably was Raw. Like when SmackDown started, it always kind of was the second tier show for a while. Then it actually did pick up and become the better show. But I always kind of thought of Raw as the flagship show. What's up, Mark? My streaming week has been a good one, man. We had a good stuff this week. Finished 2 games, Indiana Jones and Killer Frequency. Wrapped up my final private React videos, so now don't have to worry about taking streams off to do those anymore. Good stuff. Now we're trying to figure out what's on the docket for next week, what new stuff people want. Well, let's be honest. That's the other thing too about the private React stuff. The private React stuff was a lot more fun when it was a variety of people doing it, and I was doing a variety of reacting. Like one time it would be to an anime, and then it would be a documentary about a certain group of people or a certain location. I had videos on religion. I had videos on science that I did private reacting to. That was really neat. Like no lie, over the course of 2.5 years, I did a big variety of stuff. But then everyone stopped doing it but Slayer. So every time I went to do it, it ended up being either K-pop or Singapore or something to that effect. And after a while, it's like you get tired of it. You know, not to say anything wrong with that. If I was doing that and other stuff, then it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But if the only private reacting I'm doing is always the same subject, it gets boring. You know, I don't want to do the same thing every time. So that's why, good time to end it. Yes, I saw Cesaro wrestle. Cesaro was wrestling in WWE for a very long time there when I was watching, even when I was doing Smart Guys back in the day. Lady Charisma says, how do you feel about tribalism and wrestling online? The mindset of you can only watch one company is dumb. I don't know. I didn't even know that existed. I stopped following pro wrestling on social media 2 years ago because my feed was getting bombarded with nonsense and I just didn't care anymore. So I unfollowed and I haven't seen anything of pro wrestling in ages on my timeline. So, I mean, you're right. It was like that where people were like, oh, AEW, or WWE. And everyone was like, hey, you can watch both. Like, people were just being stupid. I didn't play much of King of Fighters 2002, Mark, because it really wasn't available in the United States at that time. American arcades didn't have King of Fighters in the 2000s, and there really weren't many American home ports of those games. I know that in Japan they always came out with them, but they weren't available. I think I actually played it emulated on PC at one point because it was the only way I could play it, but I don't really remember it. I got to restart my PC because I definitely got a lot of things going on, memory holes here. My freaking browser screen just crashed. It says, oh, out of memory. What? Let me restart my PC tonight. All right. Stables with another $2 super chat. What were your favorite unique private reacts? There was one I watched. It was an anime. And it was this one from the 2000s. And it was really unique. It was set in the future, and it was like these space scavengers showed up at like a defunct space station, and come to find out the space station was being run by an AI. They thought it was a ghost, but this AI was like crazy. It was trying to capture people and kill them and stuff. It was weird. It was a really good one. Like, it was very entertaining, and the art was amazing. I can't remember what it was called though. That was a really good one. There were a few early on that were about things like religion and science and stuff like that, and those were quite entertaining because it like opened my mind up to topics that you don't typically think about too much. So, oh, that was fascinating. But yeah, I those were pretty good, I would say. And I'll be honest, the K-pop stuff, it allowed me to think more about like pop culture and stuff around the world that I don't really think about. I didn't know about all that, like K-pop. Yes, Memories Magnet Rose. That's what it was called, the villain. You're right. You nailed it on the head. I guess I described it well enough. Oh, but what I was saying was the K-pop stuff, like being exposed to pop culture from around the world, was fascinating. Like to learn that there's entire different cultures that operate so different from ours. And that they have this entire industry based around people being trained and raised into being pop stars and stuff. I mean, I don't agree with it, but it was fascinating to learn about it. What's up, Captain DCW? How you doing, man? I received a $5 tip. Thank you, guys. If you and PPP react to Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling or Choco Pro, I will gift 100 subs. Really? You're serious? I don't know what those are. Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling or Choco Pro? What are those? How would we even have access to those? How do you get those? And what do you mean? You mean like us reviewing it, right? Because remember, we can't live react. There's no way we can live react to wrestling. Wrestling is like the biggest copyright no-no on the internet right now. Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling or Choco Pro? I should write these down. Hold on. I seriously should write this down. Here's my notes from watching AEW Dynamite the other night. 3 pages of notes. So what was it? Tokyo Joshi? Pro Wrestling. And Choco Pro? Like Chocobo, but Choco Pro? Yes, I'm writing it down because if I bring this up with Ashton, he's going to be like, 100 gifted subs, we'll do it immediately. Well, we probably will drop everything. This will be the first thing we do on Tuesday. I'll bring this up with him. But of course, there's no guarantee. This person could be being facetious or trying to fool us. I don't know. Did PPP make me take notes? No, I always used to do this. Remember on Smart Guys back in the day, this is what I always took notes during pro wrestling so I could remember stuff later on. I always did this. If anything, though, I wish I had a way to do it. Like right now, I'm watching it on my phone. Okay, so here I am watching it on my phone. And I'm trying to like write and shit. I wish that I had like a better way to do it. Like back in the day, I had an iPad and I would use the iPad to like type quick. But now I don't have an iPad anymore. Mine's busted. It's ancient. So I don't really have a way to take notes. I can't take notes on the same phone I'm watching the show on. Maybe if I got a tablet and I could watch the shows on the tablet and then I could take notes. You know what I mean? Why not watch it on a TV? Because I watch this when my wife's asleep. You understand that, right? Like my wife has to work early mornings. She's up hours before I am for my streams. So the nights when she has to go to bed early, that's the nights that I end up watching this stuff. I watch it, with headphones and I take notes and everything. I can't have a giant TV on noise and shit. Now, I don't want to bring the laptop into the bedroom. Maybe I'll look for like I don't know anything about like tablets. But maybe if I got like a cheap tablet and I could sync it with my network or something, maybe I could do it. Without spoiling smart guys, can you understand what I meant? How AEW is like NXT. The weekly shows are mid to bad, but the pay-per-views are bangers. You're right. I don't want to spoil. Like, I got a certain vibe out of AEW that I want to share on the show on Tuesday. So I don't want to spoil any of my thoughts on AEW right now. But I definitely got a distinct vibe about AEW watching it for the first time. Let's put it that way. See, any tablet I got, I don't need cell service at all. I just need a tablet to work with my wireless in my house. That's it. I don't need a tablet that's like through a cell phone company. I just need a tablet to sync with my network and watch stuff through the internet. That's it. You know, just install some apps on it or whatever. Like get the Netflix app on there, get the Max app on there, and just watch shit on there. But I don't know anything about tablets. I'd have to, research them. Are they cheap? I hope you can get like a cheap tablet that's good, that will do good quality video, right? I hope so. Maybe I'll look into it. If it's cheap, it won't be good. Well, I also don't want to spend $1,000 on a tablet. I don't need that. You have an iPad Air and you love it. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to go to Apple. I'm done with Apple after a decade of having iPhones and stuff. I do not want to go back to Apple. I would prefer to use Android stuff. So it would definitely be like well, my phone is a Samsung, right? So maybe I would try to look for a Samsung because I like Samsung. This is a really good phone. Yeah, I probably look for Samsung. I wonder what they've got. And I want good video quality too. Like my phone is great video quality, so I'd look to get really good video quality. Amazon Fire for $65. Yeah, but what quality are you going to get for $65? The video is going to probably look like shit. Samsung Fold 4 opens like a book. They have phones like that, right? The bendable screens. Like that might be neat to get eventually, but I'm not doing that yet. I have years to wait till I can upgrade my phone. But I want to look into it. Yeah, if I get something that I could open up, it would be like, good visual, and then I could take notes on my phone while I watch it. Why are we talking about a tablet? Because I'm watching pro wrestling now and I'm having difficulty taking notes while I'm watching the wrestling. So I was saying instead of writing on a notepad, maybe I could have my phone. I take notes on my phone and I watch on a tablet. Playing AC Valhalla today, Captain? That's cool. You have the DLCs, you didn't even know you had them? That's funny. Big Boss, please stop with your nonsense. Thanks for the $2 tip, but that's the most silly question. I'm not even going to address it. What a waste of time. Okay. Well, guys, shall we jump into Dark Souls? It's been a very chill podcast. You ever notice when we do these podcasts? What's up, Darkside Dabbing? How you doing over on K? Did you ever notice on the days when we don't really have a ton to talk about and we just start talking, the podcast always rolls late, but it's always like really fun? I like just hanging out with you guys and talking about these topics. This is like, I never would have thought about other wrestling feds. I never would have thought about a tablet. I never would have thought about half the shit we just talked about, unless we sat here and we just had this nice open discussion. I love these streams. I really do. Like there's a different vibe between, today I have a million topics to cover on the podcast and we got to hit each one and there's reacting to do. And then another day, let's just chill and talk, right? It's fun. No, Big Boss, I'm done with the drama crap. Let's put it that way. I'm done with nonsensical drama crap. I'm not wasting time on it anymore. Old ugly bastard did a $5 super chat. Says, I got off an hour early from work. I hit my sales goal. LFG. Yeah, good for you. Glad to hear you hit your sales goal. Congrats. Hopefully it means something good for you. Maybe you'll get rewarded, right, for hitting the goal. That's awesome to hear. And thank you for the support. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing the wealth. Captain does not like AEW. Well, again, I'm not going to reserve my comments till Tuesday Smart Guy Show. Can we get a DSP chill night stream just chatting? We've done it before. Remember chill with Phil nights? We could do that. We could have a random night stream where we're just hanging out and talking about absolutely anything. I'd be down for that at some point for variety. Why not? Okay. Well, we went late, but any last minute stuff, or shall we adjourn and get ready for Dark Souls? Right? Any last minute concerns or topics to talk about, my friends? Or shall we end the show? Calixification says meeting your goals in corporate America doesn't mean shit. You're absolutely correct. I hate to agree with you there, but you're right. I hate to say it, with my experience in corporate America, essentially, you are a cog in a machine. You are a number on a spreadsheet. It doesn't matter how well you're doing today. You will be disposed when it is convenient for that company. They will beat you down. They will take away things that you've earned. They don't give a crap. It's the bottom line is all they care about in corporate America. It's pretty sad. Lady Charisma, I remember a ton about Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels. Absolutely, I do. From TNA days. Okay. I think we'll end it here. Guys, thanks for the support. I mean, getting almost halfway to the goal before we even started the game is very much appreciated. Now, let's keep that going. As I start Dark Souls, please, let's hit the goal today. All right, and thank you for that. And let's end the show. All right, now remember, guys, I'm not here tomorrow. I'll be back on Sunday to start a brand new week of streaming goodness here on DSP Gaming and on Kick. I thank you all for chilling and for your suggestions. This was a great podcast. Have a good, safe Saturday. And I'll be back on Sunday to tell you all about my day off and to start a fun new week of content. Thank you guys. See you Sunday.